Welcome to Teacher Learn's SAT Critical Reading Strategies lecture. The critical reading section has two types of questions. The first type are sentence completion questions, which test your vocabulary skills. The questions will have a sentence with one or two blanks, and then choices for you to choose a vocabulary word which would fit into that space. The other type of question will provide you with a passage from various types of written work, and then we'll have a question which will talk about either a literary element of the passage or other types of reading comprehension questions. Today we're just going to talk about some general things. So the first thing are the two ills that you can face when doing questions on the SAT. The first are distractions. It's really easy to get distracted in the SAT because of its long length. So you want to make sure that you're not looking at the window or playing with your eraser while taking the SAT because time is super important. The second thing is to not become too nervous because your brain can shut down if you start to realize that you start to think that you're doing poorly on the SAT. So two ways to prevent that are by remaining positive, focus on the questions that you know you did well on rather than the one or two that you ended up not knowing the answer to. And it's important to go into the test being confident. So things such as taking this course, doing extra practice questions, and feeling generally prepared for the test will help you remain confident throughout the test and prevent your brain from shutting down. Another important skill is time management for the SAT. Two ways to help you manage your time are first, you should skip questions. So for the sentence completion questions, the questions are from easy to hard. So you should do the first questions first because those are the easier ones, and then you can move on and to the reading comprehension parts and then come back and do the harder sentence completion questions if you have time left over. For the reading comprehension section, you want to do the shorter questions first because they're easier to spot, and they're usually easier if the questions themselves are shorter. So do the short questions first and then go do the longer questions again once you have more time. The other way you can save time is by using process of elimination. You should go ahead and mark up your paper as you're reading the question and answers, because that means that if you go back to it, there's less time you spend rereading answer choices that you have already eliminated. And it also makes it easier to guess later because you now have narrowed it down to two choices. Your brain will continue to analyze those while you do your other questions, and by the time you come back, you might have already come up with the answer subconsciously. So how do you guess? You should only guess if you can eliminate one choice, because then you have a 1/4 chance that you're going to lose 1/4 of a point, which makes your odds much better. And the more process of elimination you use, the better chance you'll have of guessing the right answer. So we'll talk about specific guessing strategies when we talk about specific types of questions, but this is a general when to guess type of thing, since you do have something to lose when you guess. And finally for today, beyond this course, you have to make sure that you're reading on a daily basis. The critical reading section of the SAT is one that you cannot easily study for because it does not test certain grammar rules or mathematical formulas, but instead it tests your ability to critically think and analyze written works. So when you read on a daily basis, you can read things like the New York Times or the Washington Post, which both use high-level vocabulary and also have high-level written work, which you can increase your critical thinking with. If you're reading simple in prose, then there's much less chance that your brain will be critically thinking as you're reading it. But if you're reading opinionated works by the New York Times, you'll be analyzing it for the facts and opinions that the author presents and making your own conclusions based on that, which is great for when you get to the SAT. Finally, any practice questions that we provide on our website, you should be doing them because, again, the critical reading section is best conquered by doing practice questions because you need to know how the SAT writers think, and the only way to do that is by doing as many practice questions as you can. So make sure that you sign up for our website, which will have practice questions posted after lessons that would specifically address the topic that we discuss in future lessons. And the website that you need to log on to is T2LUSA.me. And this website is also in the comments section of the video if you are watching this on YouTube.